just got finished with the guys, told them I was proud of our team for not folding when we were 2-8, not folding when we were 0-3, and not folding tonight, which I think would have been easy to do at any point. And I also told them, and I've been doing this a while at this point at some different places with really good teams and really good players, never faced this much adversity in one season, ever. From an injury standpoint to guys having to play out of position to guys having to play new roles, and not just these two beside me, but that group bought in, continued to fight, never rolled over, and so I couldn't be more proud of our group. I thought tonight's was really a microcosm of the season. I mean, we got down big like we did at different points in the season, both mentally, emotionally, on and off the court, and we fought and fought. It was a one-possession game with, I think, 17 seconds left. But I thought they were just better than us tonight. I mean, I think, well, we tried to do different things. We tried zone, we tried man, we tried different things offensively. They came out a little more aggressive, and I thought they were just better than us overall tonight.
Did they do something defensively to try and take Cedric away? It seemed like he had a tough time getting going. Obviously, he hit that huge three at the end of that.
Yeah, they did that up there too. They did a good job of pressuring him out of getting the ball. Obviously we've talked about this. Ced's not a true point guard. He doesn't have, a great burst from an athletic standpoint. So sometimes when he's playing against really quick guys like Zach Cooks, it's hard for him. We tried to screen him open. We tried to do some different things, but they were trying to key on him, and De Niro and Caleb both did a really good job of stepping up. But they did a great job. It wasn't just him. They pressured us out of our stuff. They turned us over, and I thought it took us some time to kind of adjust to their intensity and their pressure.
How bad was Brady's absence hurt?
I think it definitely bothered us, but like I said, I thought, again, tonight's kind of a microcosm of the whole deal. Obviously, would we have won the game without him? I don't know. I can't say that, but it kind of felt like, sitting in that locker room, that's how the year went. You never knew, are we going to have a guy, are we not? Is he going to be in practice, is he not? And it just, it happened, unfortunately. Brady obviously can really pass the ball. He blocks shots. He really helps us defend. I think he would have really helped on Abdul Lewis, so that definitely hurt us. But, I still thought we had a chance to win the game at the end.
One of the things that you said a couple of weeks ago, or maybe after the Kennesaw win, was that it starts with you guys with defense and rebounding because you're better on offense when you run. How big of an issue was rebounding without Brady tonight?
I think it hurt us, and I think it hurt us defensively too. Besides Brian, he's our best wall-up guy at the rim. He doesn't block a lot of shots, but he changes a lot of shots because he's so big, and he goes up with two hands and does a great job of not fouling. I thought tonight there was a few times that we chopped down on guys and fouled at the end of a clock that, maybe he doesn't foul in those possessions. So we definitely missed him, but it's one of those deals, especially in March, it's next man up. And again, I think there's a few plays that go maybe a little different way. We had all the momentum going into the half, and then they went on a run coming out. So they were just better than us tonight.
In a situation like that, is it almost you prefer not to go into the half with all the momentum that you have?
No, I think you always want to go into the half with momentum. I wish we hadn't gotten down so big early, but I felt like we were right back in the game, going in halftime. In fact, I wish we'd had about 3 more minutes with the building going nuts to maybe come all the way back. But they're a really good team, and it's not to take anything away from our players or our program, but Zach Cooks is as good a player as there is in the league. Abdul Lewis is as good a player as there is in the league, and then the Wilson kid jumped up and had a great night tonight. So it's not that we didn't perform or I thought we played terribly. We lost to a team that's won 21 games. There's a reason they're a 20-win team.
Did Cooks' performance? For me, it felt like last year in the ASUN championship game, the way that Garrison Matthews was just unconscious, making everything. Did it kind of feel like that for you guys where, hey, if we could just put a little bit together, we could be right back in this thing?
Yeah, he did a tremendous job. Again, he was second team all-league. I thought he was just as good as anybody on the first team. He's arguably the best point guard in the league and extremely aggressive defensively. I thought we let him get a few clean open looks early in the game that really got him going. There was a couple of times in the zone that we lost him, didn't get a hand over the ball, and it was the exact opposite. When we beat them here, he really struggled against his zone and couldn't find looks. And so, we were playing the numbers, and they only make 7 threes a night. And what'd they make tonight, 10 maybe? I think that's right. So they made 3 over their average, and that was kind of the number we talked about as a staff. We need to hold them under 10, and you look, it ends up being a close game. Had we held them to 8 or 9 threes, I think we're right there.
De Niro, for you, obviously not the way that you were hoping to end your senior year, but coming here for the last 2 years, just the experience that you had. Obviously, after the game, there a lot of love from the fans. What was that like for you?
Well, it goes back to to when I first got here, playing with Brandon and Zach. Those guys, really competitive. So, I mean, every day I had to bring it. So whenever it was my time to step up as a leader, I wanted to make sure every day as a group we come in ready. And the fans are tremendous. I mean, I'm pretty sure we have the most fans at a game in the conference, I'm pretty sure. And all credit goes to the program, to them, supporting me, supporting the team. And I mean, it's been a long journey, but for me, I don't think it's over.
How do you feel about what you guys were able to contribute this season to what FGCU's basketball history has been, what it's been built to?
I would say adversity. Just to go off what Coach Fly said. I mean, every team in I don't know in America go through adversity. So for us, it was a lot more than expected, but at the same time, we learned from it, and we grew as men on and off the court. So,
Caleb, I would say it's a completely different you from the beginning of the season to the end of the season. Year one in the books, obviously not what you guys were hoping to accomplish, but just for you on a personal level, how do you think that your freshman year went?
I don't really know. Started off slow, but I don't really want to relate it to me. This group is super fun to play with. I've grown a lot as a basketball player, but a lot as a person as well, and that's with the help of guys like De Niro said and the other seniors. Honestly, I just want to thank De Niro and said, true professionals, great leaders. I love them both to death, and you know, basketball is what we do every day. But them as people, I'm never going to forget them, and that's special to me because that just means a lot to me.
Coach, the development of Caleb and Zach, you were preaching it all throughout the beginning of the year, and a lot of people were not patient with you. You said it would come, it clearly came. Just your thoughts on their development.
Yeah, well, I think it's, you know, all of our young guys. I mean, I just said that to our group. You know, really, besides De Niro and Cedric, that was it, that had a lot of experience. You know, Christian Carlisle and Rayshawn played some last year, but in and out of the lineup. Brian didn't play hardly at all. And, you know, you look going into the year, we have no Brian, no Rayshawn. Then you end up no Haney, no Ricky, then, you know, no DeCardo. And so when I look at our young guys in general, I mean, we're playing major minutes besides De Niro and Cedric with Brian Thomas, who's a sophomore and hadn't really played before. Troy is a sophomore and didn't play at UNLV. Caleb and Zach as freshmen. And then Rayshawn and Christian Carlisle and those guys are stepping into new roles. Brady's stepping into a new role that they never played before. So I thought their development, those two specifically, Zach and Caleb, went about like I thought it would, because we knew when we signed them they were going to be really good players in this league, you know. And what's happened in years past, and he knows this, it's been really hard for freshmen to get on the court here because we've returned so many guys that are, you know, multiple year starters, and, you know, we've had 4 or 5 or 6 guys like De Niro that are older that have played. So, you know, they were forced into some roles because of injuries, because of inexperience, and I think both of those guys, including Brian, including Troy, really responded. You know, we're excited about Malik Hardy, who is sitting out in his development, and the kids we've got coming in. But these guys, you know, all credit goes, one, to our older guys for leading younger guys and for continuing to believe in what we're doing and never quitting. And also credit our younger guys for continuing to work, continuing to believe. You know, there was a point, and I hope you don't mind me sharing this, where Caleb said to me, he said, man, it's hard right now. It's just, you know, there's negativity because we're losing. And we had a talk, and I smiled at him. I said, hey, when we start winning, I'm going to guess that negativity is going to go away. You know, and obviously we were the hottest team in the league outside of the Stetson game for the last month. So, you know, we're excited about the future, but there's no question. I'm hurt right now, not just for our program, but for De Niro, for Cedric, for Dolan, for Ricky and Haney even, because, you know, the way this ended was not what any of us expected, not just losing tonight, but also what it would look like on the floor from a roster standpoint.
The last one that I would have for you would be, do you guys know CIT at all, NIT at all? And last one would be, year one in the books, you mentioned the adversity. How do you define this season? Was it a success? Was it not a success?
Personally, and this is not normal for me to say, to not be winning a championship, I think it was a huge success for our program. And I say that because when you lose 85% of your scoring and 5 starters, and you look around and 1 starter's in the NBA, and another one's a second leading scorer at Miami, and another one's at VCU, and the other 2 are pros, and, you know, that's a lot to lose. And for these guys to step in, and again, most programs at 2-8, year's over. Most programs at 0-3, year's over. Not this program. and not these guys. And we're going to do everything we can to make sure De Niro and Cedric continue to have a chance to play and continue their careers. The young guys, I'm hurting for them, but I'm excited for what the future holds, not just for the guys that are here, but for the guys we've got coming in. As far as postseason play, you know, there have been some tournaments that have reached out to us. That'll be something we'll discuss in the next week or so and see if we get invited to something and then make that decision.
Caleb, your thoughts on what you guys as a program were able to establish for the younger players under, you know, first-year coach, what that means for you coming back for next year, what your thoughts are?
Something we mentioned in the locker room was just Nero said, he just don't forget this feeling because that's what will drive you. So for us, it's obviously learning and then just getting better, growing as a group. But yeah, just growing as a group.
One more, guys.
I got one for you. I was Caleb kind of alluded to the message to the team from yourself and the rest of the seniors. Definitely a different feeling compared to the years you've been here. How much of an imprint do you hope that you've left upon the younger guys, and just how successful this program has been? The long-term trajectory is still, I think, in a very good track.
Yeah. Well, for me, I've always been the guy that leads by example, whether I was early in the year during conditioning or just being in the gym all the time. I think this year really taught me how to be like a vocal leader, and for me, I feel like I grew as far as that aspect. But as far as leaving my imprint on the guys, I think just leading by example. I feel like my work ethic is good, and those guys see it. I've never been the type of guy to talk about what I do behind closed doors, but those guys see it, and I'm sure they respond to it.
And I'd like to say as a coach, and we see it too, because what you can say about De Niro, he's not perfect, just like none of us are, but he brought his lunch pail every day. He worked hard every day. You always knew what you were going to get from him, which was going to be vocal, try to do things the right way. And the biggest thing, and I think we fought this early on with some guys, he plays hard every possession. You never have to worry about him. Is he going to play hard? Is he compete? He's always going to. And I think he showed that tonight by bringing us back there at the end.
Caleb, I see you nodding in agreement. Is there a lesson in there for you? I mean, even if you know that yourself, to still see it done?
About 8 months ago, me and De Niro were the only two on campus, I think, at the time. And it was just me and him, or Ricky was with us. It was me, him, Rick, and Travis. And yeah, for sure, Nero, man, he means a lot to me. Just personally, he just leads by example. He's definitely, I think, the hardest worker in this program right now. So that's special for me because I wanna follow his lead as far as that goes. So.
And I'll close here. Somebody else got something you can ask him. But the example he set, the example Cedric sets, I told those guys in the locker room, this isn't the end. The example that they set for him, it should hurt right now. They should remember what they taught him. And as we continue to progress in the program and honor the process of building this into what we want it to be, it'll reflect the lessons that they've taught these young guys. And that's one thing I said that I don't know if people totally grasp about our program right now. You know, Lipscomb built it over a 4-year period. You know, NJIT's built it over 2 and 3 years. Liberty's built it. You know, and this team was put together not as a built 4-year situation, but obviously we had a coaching change and we lost a ton of seniors and guys to graduation, and we had multiple transfers and we had guys hurt. So I told our guys, you've got to honor the process, and there are no quick fixes, and there are no, you just, you know, okay, we're going to go and it's going to be easy. You've got to fight and you've got to go through those things sometimes. And if you look at the programs around the league, Liberty and Lipscomb and NJIT, that's what they've done. They fought year after year, going out in the first round, going out in the second round, to now get to where they're at. And that's a process that we're going to have to honor as well. Nobody's just going to give it to us.
All right, thank you guys. Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.